Forget everything you know about retirement destinations. The South is hiding places where $300,000 buys you a mansion, not a condo. Where your Social Security stays completely tax-free. Where you're hiking mountain trails in the morning and watching Broadway shows at night. These 6 cities deliver luxury retirement at middle-class prices, and we're exploring every single one. Number 6. Biloxi, Mississippi. We are starting with this Gulf Coast gem that honestly doesn't get nearly enough attention. Biloxi isn't just affordable, it's a cheat code for retirement. You see, Mississippi has 0 state tax on all retirement income. And I mean all of it, not just some categories. Social Security, tax-free. Pension, tax-free. 401k distributions, tax-free. IRA withdrawals, completely tax-free. Seriously, there are only a few states in the country with this policy, and it can save you a ton of money when you're living off retirement income. Now, when it comes to housing, the median home prices in Biloxi sit around $235,720, which is well below national average. If you're thinking about renting instead, the average is approximately $1,027 per month, making it about 37% lower than the national average. And property taxes are significantly low because Mississippi assesses owner-occupied homes at only 10% of market value. But Biloxi isn't just about the financial benefits and tax savings. There's actually a lot to enjoy here. They call it the playground of the South for good reason. Casino Row delivers 24/7 entertainment with multiple beachfront resort casinos, concerts, shows, top-tier dining, you name it. Plus, if you ever want a weekend cultural escape, New Orleans is just 90 miles west. However, let's be honest about the downsides. Hurricane season runs from June to November. High humidity and 65 inches of annual rainfall means summer comfort demands air conditioning. And Mississippi taxes groceries at the full 5% sales tax rate. But if you can handle the weather and the hurricane risk, Biloxi offers Gulf Coast living with serious financial advantages. Now, number 5, Tryon, North Carolina. Tryon, North Carolina is tiny with just 1,562 residents, but this charming Blue Ridge mountain town was recently named one of the top retirement destinations in the country. And once you understand what it offers, and you'll see exactly why it punches way above its weight. The cost of living here is significantly lower than what you'd find in most of the country. Polk County's median home value sits at around $345,583, and monthly housing costs average just $900. North Carolina doesn't tax Social Security benefits at all, which definitely helps stretch your retirement savings further. And the state's flat income tax has dropped down to 4.5% and keeps declining year after year. Property taxes in Polk County are incredibly reasonable too, averaging just 0.64%, which is well below the national median of 1.02%. And if you're 65 or older and earning under $37,900, you qualify for a property tax exclusion that removes either $25,000 or 50% of your property value from taxation. Now, that population of just 1,562 does come with some trade-offs you need to consider carefully. It means you're going to have minimal options for shopping, dining, healthcare, and other services right there locally. If you have any major medical needs, you're going to be traveling to either Asheville or Spartanburg to get proper care. The rental market is also extremely tiny, and housing prices can actually be pretty volatile because there's just limited inventory available. So when properties do come on the market, prices can swing quite a bit depending on demand. So really, Tryon works beautiful if you're the type of retiree who's seeking out that sophisticated small-town atmosphere with a strong arts and equestrian community, and you're drawn to this spectacular climate that lets you be active outdoors year-round. Number 4, Knoxville, Tennessee. Knoxville, Tennessee really is this perfect sweet spot where you get big city amenities, but you're paying small-town prices, which is honestly pretty hard to find these days. The cost of living runs about 14% below the national average, When you look specifically at housing costs, they sit about 23% lower than what you'd see in most parts of the country. The median home price comes in at around $367,583. And property taxes remain really modest at just a 0.52% effective rate, which keeps your ongoing expenses quite manageable. But what makes Tennessee special for retirement is zero state income tax on any income whatsoever. Social Security, pension, 401k withdrawals, IRA distributions, all of it is completely tax-free. This alone can save you thousands annually. The location itself is absolutely fantastic too. Knoxville sits just 45 minutes from the Great Smoky Mountains, which happens to be America's most visited national park. And if you don't feel like making the drive out to the Smokies, right within the city limits, you've got the urban wilderness, which covers about 1,000 acres and offers more than 50 miles of trails for hiking, mountain biking, and exploring. There are also 7 surrounding lakes that provide endless opportunities for boating and fishing if you're into water activities. When you step back and look at the whole picture, Knoxville gives you this rare combination of close proximity to incredible natural beauty, zero income tax that protects your retirement funds, genuinely affordable housing costs, and access to quality healthcare facilities. And speaking of rare combinations that can save you thousands in retirement, if you're finding this breakdown helpful, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button and smash the notification bell so you never miss our deep dives into retirement planning and cost of living. Now, let's get back to the countdown. Number 3, Huntsville, Alabama. Huntsville really defies every southern stereotype you probably ever heard about the region. This aerospace hub has somehow managed to combine cutting-edge technology with remarkably low living costs. And it might just be the South's best value proposition if you're an educated retiree looking for an intellectual hub without having to pay those premium prices you'd find in similar cities elsewhere. Let's start by talking about property taxes because they're genuinely among the lowest in America at just a 0.36% to 0.39% effective rate. When you look at a $300,000 home with a homestead exemption claim, you're typically only paying around $1,740 in annual property taxes. Alabama also fully exempts Social Security benefits and all government pensions from state income tax, which is a major advantage. Now, private 401ks and IRAs do face the state's modest graduated income tax that runs from 2% to 5%, but even with that factored in, it's still pretty manageable when you look at the overall picture. Housing affordability really stands out dramatically here. The median home price sits at $290,983, which has actually come down slightly year over year. And the overall cost of living runs about 9% below the national average, with housing specifically coming in at 28% lower. Even healthcare costs sit somewhere between 8% to 9% below national rates, which matters more and more as we get older. The catch here is mainly the hot, humid summers, and there's also a pretty high 9.5% combined sales tax rate to keep in mind. That said, for most typical retirees, the property tax savings alone often ends up exceeding whatever extra you're paying in sales tax. So it still works out favorably when you run the numbers on your actual spending. Number 2, Waycross, Georgia. Waycross, Georgia is honestly the South's most affordable retirement option by a pretty significant margin, with the county median home value sitting at just $171,400 and median monthly housing cost of only $736. You can even find some properties available for under $100,000, which is almost unheard of these days. When you're living out a typical retirement budget, you'll find yourself able to live far more comfortably in Waycross than you could in nearly anywhere else throughout the entire region. You also get incredible retirement tax benefits where residents who are 65 and older can exclude up to $65,000 per person, or $130,000 for married couples filing jointly from state income tax. Social Security benefits are fully exempt as well. The town itself has a population between 13,000 and 14,000 people, creating that genuine small town atmosphere. Now, let's talk about the reality of small town life here, because it's important to be upfront about what you're getting into. Shopping, dining, and entertainment options are going to be limited compared to what you'd have in cities or even larger towns. The healthcare facilities can handle basic needs just fine, but if you run into major medical issues, you may need to travel to Jacksonville or other regional centers for specialized care. Number 1. Greenville, South Carolina. Topping our list is Greenville, which has quietly become one of the South's most desirable retirement cities over the past couple of decades. The cost of living runs about 7% below the U.S. average, with median home prices sitting around $187,633, which is far less than what you'd pay in most cities that can offer this kind of quality of life and amenities. Housing costs specifically run about 26% below the national average, so you're getting a lot more for your money here than you would in comparable cities across the country. Now, let's talk about South Carolina's tax structure, because it really does heavily favor seniors in ways that make a meaningful difference to your retirement budget. Social Security benefits enjoy complete exemption from state income tax, which is a great start. Residents who are 65 and older can deduct up to $10,000 of retirement income, plus they get an additional $15,000 deduction from any South Carolina taxable income, which totals $25,000 in potential deductions when you add it all up. Property taxes average just 0.52% to 0.56%, and there's a senior homestead exemption that removes the first $50,000 of your home's value from taxation once you're 65 or older, so that keeps those annual bills manageable. Healthcare access here is genuinely top-notch, which becomes more and more important as we age. What really transformed downtown Greenville and put it on the map nationally was Falls Park on the Reedy, which has turned this into one of America's most desirable small cities. Greenville sits in the perfect spot between Atlanta, Charlotte, and Asheville, with its own international airport only about 15 miles away. So you're never feeling isolated or cut off from the rest of the world. When you factor in everything from the quality of life to the financial advantages to the amenities and access to both nature and culture, Greenville really does top our list as the best place to retire in the South. So, after diving into 6 affordable southern retirement towns, which one actually wins? Honestly, it depends on what you value most. For young retirees who want activity and culture, Knoxville or Greenville makes sense. For budget-conscious retirees stretching every dollar, Waycross or Biloxi delivers maximum affordability. For nature lovers, Knoxville's mountain access or Waycross's swamp wilderness provide endless outdoor recreation. So which southern retirement town would you pick? Drop your answer in the comments, especially if you're actually retired in any of these places. If this breakdown helped you think differently about retirement planning, hit that subscribe button and bell icon for more cost of living deep dives. We're helping you make the smartest financial moves for your future. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.